So welcome back to Playing Away this week. Looking ahead to our away trip to Bootle on Saturday. We're joined by club reporter Brendan Doyle from Bootle. Brendan, thank you very much for taking the time out
No problem, lads.
to join us. Just talk to me about how you got involved with Bootle.
So basically, I was already doing a bit of football writing, just some articles, write-ups for a Liverpool FC fan website, Dave O'Cott. I basically just wanted to go further with me writing career. So it was local to where I live. I thought, yeah, why not? Good opportunity. It's regular writing, so here I am. Well, just over 2 years later, it's my third season with Bootle now. Love it.
Perfect. And this weekend's game, there's a slight bit of a personal connection for you and Berry. Just talk me
Yeah.
through that.
Yeah, so basically, mate, when I was about 12, 13, a family member played for you actually. And I was basically there almost every home game when you got promoted. I think it was 2011. You got promoted away at Chesterfield, but I was on the coach going back to Gig Lane that day with all the players. It was brilliant, mate. And I got quite close with a few of the lads as well, like Stephen Schumacher, David Waddle, Effie Sodgy as well. It was a sport experience as a kid, mate. And that day at Chesterfield is still one of the best days I've ever had in football.
But we'll leave it on a bit of a guessing game. But the player that Brendan's talking about was quite significant for that 2011 promotion game against Chesterfield. You can pop a guess, pop a guess in the comments on that one. Just in terms of the start to the season, then Brendan, how do you sort of evaluate it from Bootle's perspective?
Um, Up and down, really, to be totally honest with you. I mean, I'm going to say we've been all right in away games this season, but we've just had a 6-0 spanking away at Chase Town. Rather embarrassing, to be honest with you. But I don't know, I mean, I think it was 12th now, Abby. Slap bang mid-table, but I look at the squad and I think there's so much more potential. I think the players are better than where we are in the league table, if that makes sense. I know everyone can probably say that about the team, but when I've seen us blend, mate, we've blended really well. And just think once something clicks, once we sort out a few problems, I'm confident we can get going again, if I'm being to be honest. But it's a big task ahead, mate, to recover from a 6-0 loss and to face a big side like yourselves, you know what I mean, on Saturday. But mad things can happen in football, as they say, mate.
Definitely, and I suppose when you're coming off such a heavy defeat like that, the resurgence will definitely be within the lads to try and get something at the weekend.
Yeah, definitely. Alan Morgan said in his interview, he's straight back to it. Well, at the time he was talking on Saturday, he was saying straight back to the training ground on Tuesday, just going over every goal, every fault that led to it. Um, and I believe him, to be honest with you, I believe he won't work thoroughly until he gets it right. Um, but yeah, I think that there'll be a bit of hunger and desire there to want to put that right. And we've not had the best home records in the league, as most people are aware of it. But what a way to rejuvenate it on Saturday.
You talk about a struggling in home form. What do you put that down to?
I don't know, I mean, we sometimes say on commentary or pre-match build-up, could be that, not to blow smoke up our own, but we have got quite a good pitch. I don't know you have yourselves, but it's the way teams, they play on pitches that are sort of below it, but then once they get to our gaff, they realise they can play a bit of football, get a bit of confidence. But at the same time, no, that's no excuse for us. You should be making your own ground a fortress if you want to get promotion or win the league even.
Uh,
Um, I really wish you knew, to be honest with you. It's weird being good away but poor at home.
I guess that is that the sort of the ultimate sort of frustration at the minute to get that home form, as you said in the answer to the previous question about getting that click and getting sort of moving. It is the home form the one that sort of needs to tick over to sort of really get the season going.
Yeah, most definitely. Like you look at some of the illnesses that we've had. No disrespect to these sides, by the way, but the likes of Compton Town and Sporting Calcia sides who've beat us when they really shouldn't have. We win them two games and further up the table, and all right, maybe I'll say what another result. Just home games you should be winning. I think we're in the playoffs amongst yourselves. You know what I mean? But that is something that we needs to get right since before Alan Morgan came. To be honest with you, it was like that while Mick McGrath was here as well. The home form at Bootle has been a problem for some time now. To be totally honest.
I think they're looking at the table, and I'd probably just go for yourselves. But I think a couple of wins on the board for any team in and around that sort of places where Bootle are in the league. You just got to look at it at the minute. Bootle 22 points and Bury 27th and that 27, and that's between third and 12th. There's only 5 points in it, so it's very much one of them
Yeah,
at this time of the season where if teams can get a sort of a winning run going, then you can really sort of kick on, which I assume is what you guys are hoping for.
yeah, I'm open so, but also we're aware of the fact that we've played more games than most teams have, or not far off anyway. We're a few games ahead of people due to postponements and cup games and stuff like that. But I said to Steele the other day, the guy who commentates at Bootle, I'd rather have the points on the board, but we've actually got to get them on the board in the first place. Do you know what I mean? Because it gives other teams around us an advantage who've got games in hand, and that'll see us slip further down the table, like what happens on Saturday. But as you know, teams have had midweek games, and it's just not in our favour.
You talk about sort of teams coming to Bootle and being able to play and use the pitch to their advantage. In terms of your playing style, what can Bury fans expect at the weekend?
Good question. So it's changed a lot really, but I will say for the player you've got to look out for Joe Woolley. We call him the White Pelly for a reason, but not really seen him the past couple of games. But I think that's just down to the squad as a whole. Really, it's been very displeasing ever since we won at Stalybridge away. You know, but as you know, Lewis Earle as well, very threatening player. He's been in like a bit of a free roam position for us lately. 1 minute he looks like a right winger, but then it goes back into like a deep midfield role. Um, so yeah, basically,
And then I suppose looking at the squad, you've mentioned Lewis Earle there, who many Bury fans will remember from the past couple of seasons in terms of his quality. I know Jack Lenihan, who played for the club on its return to Gig Lane, has been in and around the squad. Courtney Doufus as well played for Bury in the Football League days when he was
yeah.
on loan from Everton. So that's another name that Bury fans will remember. In terms of, I suppose, the squad and you talk about sort of players coming in. What's the sort of turnover of players been like for you guys over the summer? It's very much obviously in non-league you can get those players where I was talking to the guy at Sporting Calcia a couple of weeks ago, and with their move of divisions, they lost 17 players. I'm not expecting your answer to be quite that drastic, but has the sort of squad turnover affected what you guys have been able to do this season?
No, I wouldn't say so. To be totally honest with you, because we've not really, it's not really been drastic changes in the squad. To be totally honest with you, Um, I say Lewis we brought him back earlier last season. There's been the odd few outgoings and incomings, but Jack McGowan, the fans are excited to see him back because I think this is his third spell at Bootle now. I think he was involved before I was. He was playing for Bootle before I was involved anyway, but um, we've just recently signed Matty Fenton, who's been good. Um, Ethan Goldborn as well. There's definitely a player in there. And with Sean Smith, our other left back just recently departing. I think that's Ethan's place in the squad confirmed now, so I think that gives him a bit of a boost knowing that he's got a place now. But no, I don't think the summer turnaround's affected the performance. Not really, no. I think it's just, I think it's within themselves maybe, or I'm not too sure. I wish I could put my finger on it to be honest, but I'm hoping it's sorted out rather quickly. Saturday would be a good start.
And in terms of I suppose it's always the game that people look for in terms of Bury in the calendar. For the Bury fans that may well be attending your stadium for the first time, just talk me through what Bury fans can expect from the ground in terms of bars and food and parking and that
Yeah,
sort of stuff.
yeah, a good pint in Frank's Bar. You can expect that. But also, as you come out of Frank's Bar, you turn left again. There's a little food kiosk. It's good food as well, actually. Something called the Bucks Burger on the menu. So yeah, recommend that. Also got our own Bucks beer as well, which is in Frank's Bar. So yeah, it's decent bar and decent atmosphere. So should come along, have a pint.
Is the Bucks Burger the defo food recommendation, or is that the one that's always top of your list?
That's what I get personally. I know one or two that aren't keen on it for some reason, but I'm completely fine with it, mate.
Well, I'm sure many will go with that recommendation, and I suppose how important is we talk a lot in non-league football about revenue and clubs being able to get sort of money into to tick over. Obviously, you hear a lot of the storylines around the FA Cup at this time of the year with the first round, obviously kicking off last weekend. How important is, I suppose, um, what will be a larger than normal crowd, not to sort of try and blow it out of proportions, but how important is a larger than normal crowd going to be to the club this weekend?
Yeah, it'd be massive, obviously. I mean, look, it's no secret that you take a lot with you wherever you go in the league. Um, but yeah, of course, it's bigger gate for the club, and obviously bigger atmosphere as well. I think the biggest one we've had this season was Darlington. Can't quite remember what the figure was, but do you know how many you were bringing down on Saturday?
It's a good question. I mean, I think I'd probably say upwards of six, 700.
Yeah,
It's always difficult to sort of define away crowds. You don't know what may come up, but I'd probably say you've got a solid support.
yeah. Well, if all right, let's say 600, 700, then just around what you said. I think that'll be bigger than Darlington. I think that'll be a bigger gate, to be honest with you.
Fair enough. And I think to finish the episode, I know it's always difficult to guess the score, and some people come on here and are more confident than others in score predictions. It's not something that if you were asking me these questions, I'd be that comfortable at giving because I'd probably be wrong in the end. But go on, Brendan. What's your score prediction for the weekend?
You want me to tell you what my head says or my heart?
Why don't we have both?
Head saying 3-0 Barry, but my heart saying 1-0 Bootle, Lewis last minute winner.
I'm sure we'd lock that one up, to be honest. I mean, he has got a good header on him. And I'm sure he scored a couple of goals for us in that manner. And I'm sure some Bury fans would like to see him have a good game. But Brendan, many thanks for
Yeah,
taking the time to join us on Playing Away today.
nice one, Adam. Lad. Take care, mate.